well, it should be an early Monday Night Raw reaction. As it turns out, it's a very late Monday Night Raw reaction because Monday Night Raw was actually from Australia. And it would have been brilliant to have watched it in the middle of the day, but I'll explain why I didn't in a minute. So I was due to watch it because it started at 1 o'clock this afternoon, but due to the insane weekend that I'm going to chat about in a second that I've just had, basically, long story short, I had about 1 hour's sleep last night and basically ended up sleeping halfway through the day, so there was no way that I could have watched it basically. But I've literally just finished watching it now, so some of you may have noticed that my thumbnail changed, as in the thing at the start of the show when you click onto it. Basically, the what am I trying to say? The original thumbnail was that it was just a Monday Night Raw reaction show. Then I've just watched and I'd accidentally heard that Punk had won the #1 contenders. So I thought, right, I'll tell you what, I'll change it to CM Punk wins the #1 contenders because that's fine, that'll be a good thumbnail and this, that and the other. So I was about to go live, literally, you're talking, this is about 5 or 6 minutes ago. And then I just saw the turn that Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker just did. And I was just like, what the hell was that? So basically, I had to change my thumbnail. That's why I was like 2 seconds late this time. I thought, just this once, I'm actually going to be on time for my own live stream. But yeah, I had to change that, and hence why I'm like 2 seconds late. So, yeah, that was absolutely insane. I'll just get this bit out of the way first. Just to let you guys know, as per usual, this podcast will be podcast. I always say podcast. This live stream will be on YouTube podcasts, and it will also be available as a YouTube video. And yeah, that should be processed whenever YouTube can get around to processing my videos. It will be processed about midday, 1 o'clock tomorrow or something like that. So if you don't get a chance to watch it tonight, you can just catch up tomorrow. And yeah, first of all, swig of water, the working man. For those of you who end up watching the video who've never seen me before, like, why is dude literally just like taking swigs of water? He's meant to be doing YouTube. Guys, basically, I can't go 5 minutes without an actual swig of water, unfortunately. So if you hear any dead air on the podcast when it becomes a podcast, that is the reason, basically. Just to let subscribers know, well, and anyone who's interested, basically, the insane weekend I had before all this started. So left Leeds at about 7:45 in the morning, Friday morning, and since then I have been to went to Birmingham, spent the whole day filming and shooting videos in Birmingham. From Birmingham, basically I went to Wolverhampton, where I went to the Molineux, which is, if you don't know, that's Wolverhampton Wanderers football ground. That's their football ground. Just to let you guys know that I saw Diogo Jota's mural. So I just stood there and just had a couple of moments with that. It was very, very emotional. Again, I know this is a wrestling stream, but I just wanted to shout out any Wolverhampton Wanderers fans who might end up watching. And yeah, it was very emotional and it was absolutely fantastic. From there, I went back to my home, which is Telford. Let me have a look. Hi, Ella Garcia. How you doing, Ella? You all right? Ella, you have the same name as my wife, by the way, and you're the first one that's had the same name since I've been doing this, so congratulations. Yeah, went home to Telford in the West Midlands and had a few drinks. Next day, we went to Shrewsbury, which is also in the West Midlands, and it's like kind of at the border with Wales kind of thing. And those of you who subscribe to me will have probably noticed there were a couple of non-Geek Boy Meta videos of me basically drinking and singing along to 90s rave tunes. So thanks for all the comments about that. I actually didn't realise that I'd actually even sent them. That's how much I was enjoying myself on Saturday night, basically. So if you want to check me out looking like a complete idiot, then you're more than welcome to do so. And then from there, I've been, also while all this has been going on, it's been New York Comic Con. So I've been trying to go to all these different cities. It was also my brother's birthday, so I've had that, and then I've gone to tried to listen to New York Comic Con, tried to do shorts and analysis from that, and then the next day I left Telford to go back to Wolverhampton to then get to the Hawthorn Stadium, which is where West Bromwich Albion play football, if you're not familiar with English football. Went round there, did like a live stream from there. I also did a live stream from Wolverhampton on the Friday. Then went back to Birmingham, went to this goth/metal bar, had a few drinks there, got back on a National Express coach for 3 hours. Then, because just bear me a second, I'm half Ghanaian, I then had to listen to my national team qualifying for the World Cup on a National Express, and it's a wonder I wasn't chucked off the coach, because I could have been chucked off the coach because I was singing and dancing away. Had a few more drinks when I got back to Leeds, and then basically rolled up here at about 4 o'clock yesterday morning. So if you're wondering why I did not cover Monday Night Raw when it was on at 1 o'clock, that is the reason, basically. But yeah, just wanted to say shout out to everyone that was on, that's been supporting me during that weekend. It was awesome. It was nice to go and see my family again. Big shout out to the West Midlands, best region in England. Best city is Liverpool, of course, but the best region is Midlands. So friendly people. And yeah, it's just been an awesome weekend. We've got a boatload of new subscribers. I think there was like 30 or so that subscribed to me over the course of a couple of days. It's just been mental. So yeah, just thank you and shout out to everyone. Anyway, you guys are here for wrestling, so just if your timestamp on this is 7 minutes, so if you didn't want to hear all that, just ignore everything I've said. So let's have a look. Ella, I like your hoodie. I love my hoodie, Ella. Absolutely loved it. I got this from basically the Liverpool club store. And because they were doing a sale at the time, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and it ended up costing like £8, and I was just like, yeah, I'll have that. And it's also fat people size as well, and it fits me just perfectly. In fact, at some point I'm going to take this off and I'll show you my new wrestling shirt as well, which I've got a feeling that Richard might not be hugely impressed with. So yeah, let me have a look at the comments. So I'm going to have to spell this out because I'm a bit dyslexic, so bear with me a second. Apirami. Can you say Fuggeria, please? Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. Richard Sims. Punk has no business being in the title picture in the first place. Oh, Richard, right. It seems like a good time to do this, but more than anything, I'll just show you guys the new t-shirt that I bought while I was in Birmingham. I'm guessing Richard will not be hugely impressed about that, but still, look, I love CM Punk, so yeah, but I know some people don't like him and think he's too old and just think he's a bit of a something in general, but yeah, that's fine, not a problem. Let's have a look. Hey, let's have a look. Patrick Starr, hi. Hi, Johnny. How you doing, mate? You all right? I hope you caught some of the football things, pal, that I did over the weekend. Let's have a look. Hello, Patrick. How you doing, mate? You all right? Not me. What's the problem? You would be willing to pay a decent amount of money to solve? What's a problem you would be willing to pay a decent amount of money to solve? I would like my missus and my son to stop throwing Lego all over my house. If you could solve that one for me, mate, that'd be good. Nice clock jumper. Yeah, he's better. Ella Garcia, wow. Patrick CM Punk. Ella Garcia again. Nice t-shirt, lol. Ellen Garcia, yeah, boom. Yeah, no, like I mean, John will be able to tell you I'm a massive CM Punk fan. I've been a fan of his since 2007, 2008. And yes, I know Punk has obviously made a lot of mistakes during his career and so on and so forth, but I like Punk because he is who he is, basically. So there we go. Patrick, are you a football fan? Yes, I am a football fan. Premier League champions. Yes, speaking of which, thank you. Swig of water. Right, folks. Well, after all that, 10 minutes in, I should probably talk about what actually happened on Monday Night Raw, basically. It won't, to be honest, it won't take too long, so there's only some main bits that I need to get to. So, first things first, the Vision came out. I won't go through the whole thing, to be honest, because it was a bit of a basic Raw, but Rawlins came out, was giving it the big one over beating Cody. Cody wasn't there. He put over Bronson Reed about the fact that he'd beaten Roman, who also wasn't there as well, which I don't think the Aussies were too thrilled with. Put over Bron Breakker, but there was always a bit of a. Now I think back to it, there was always a bit of a thing with Bron, and he was acting a bit shifty the whole night, and obviously what happened at the end sort of explains that. I'm just looking at my notes. There was Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. To be quite honest, I didn't see any of that because I was doing my son's dinner at the time, so I missed a lot of it. But I had my son in my ear saying, "Daddy, the naughty man Rusev's just beating up Penta and that bumhead Dom Mysterio's run again." So my son does not like Dominic Mysterio, so I'm going to assume that he's correct on that. I didn't check my notes, so I really hope if someone could just check for me, I'm really hoping that that's the case. But as far as I'm aware, Dominic Mysterio did in fact beat Penta, so I'm really hoping that my son's not doing a wind up for me. Yeah, there was a really weird bit. So we had Rhea Ripley versus Kyrie. That was a really good match, by the way. Really enjoyed it. I think that's probably my favourite match of the night, to be honest. Kyrie's improved no end. Honestly, she's really, really good. But Rhea went over, and then Kyrie and Oscar basically attacked her and Io Sky after the match because obviously they'd won the tag match at Crown Jewel. By the way, if you're wondering why I didn't cover Crown Jewel, refer to the start of this live stream. Basically, I have been in about 5 different cities in the last 3 days, so I did not have time for Crown Jewel, to be honest. So I literally caught up on that today when I should have been watching Raw, and I just finished Raw literally about 6 minutes ago before I started this. So but yeah, obviously Rhea went over with Io Sky, so they kind of gave a bit back to them. So Oscar and Kyrie, I don't know if it was Oscar, I think it might have been Kyrie put Rhea like on the table. She didn't go through the table, but basically they were standing tall over and Rhea and Io had to be helped out. So I'm guessing their feud's going to carry on a bit longer. I'm just wondering whether WWE, not for me, because I've watched people being sacrificed on crucifixes in the Attitude Era, and women doing mud wrestling matches, and people giving birth to hands, trying to attack people with chainsaws, putting them in garbage disposal units that they then chuck off the ringside, and so on and so forth. So there's nothing in wrestling that can shock me, but I'm just wondering in this day and age whether WWE are pushing the Kyrie and Oscar bit too far. Again, not for me. I think it's just about okay, but it's becoming very sort of bullyish, master and commander sort of adjacent. So, like I said to me, I think it's fine, but I think if it was to go any further from this, there might be 1 or 2 people going. But again, I don't. To be honest, I'm an old man. I don't understand this whole culture wars, woke, non-woke, stupid crap basically that we've got nowadays. I think it's all a load of manufactured nonsense made up by posh people to steal working class people's money. Basically, is my opinion. So whether that's a thing, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I don't know if they're just getting a bit too close to getting a bit of criticism for that. Then yeah, there was an Usos promo where they were sort of teasing a rift between Jay and Jimmy, and also the fact that they've both fallen out of Roman, who again wasn't there, so they can't really expand the storyline. I mean, I'm guessing Roman turns up now for Survivor Series or in the build to Survivor Series, and then I'm guessing he goes away for Christmas, and then he'll be back for most of the Royal Rumble build to WrestleMania, which we have. I cannot believe this. We were actually fast hurtling towards that sort of build time, which is insane. They did a lot about John Cena's last match as well. By the way, I don't know if I went to the wrong ticket resale price, but if you are in America, in Washington, you wish to see John Cena's last match, very best of luck, and I hope you have a kidney to sell. Some of the prices I've seen are in the region of, I mean, I couldn't believe my eyes, £2,000. I'm like, what? £2,000 to see some bloke have a last wrestling match? No, you're all right. I've spoke about this before with WWE, but I'm sorry, but that is outrageous. I mean, some of you guys may have more, slightly more cash flow than I do, but I do not have £2,000 to be throwing away and frittering away on wrestling matches. I've only got enough money to do the bits and stuff that I do now as it is. But I think I'm sorry, even at any level, I think that's outrageous. You cannot charge people £2,000 for a wrestling card. But I mean, well, it's TKO, I guess they can, really. But yeah, anyway, that's my little rant over about that. I'm just looking, yeah, there was Bronson Reed versus Jimmy Uso. It was a bit of a nothing match. Bronson went over, there's not really much to report about that. Just look at my notes a bit. Oh, so then they had Bailey and Lyra versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Now, I loved this match. I thought it was great. Can I just say as well, shout out to all four women in this feud. I love these guys together. They just work so well as a tag team, and I like the fact that you can just throw them onto any card in any sort of. You could have Lyra versus Raquel, you could have Roxanne versus Bailey, you could have a 2-on-1 match, you could have a tag match, and they'll find some way of making it interesting. Really, really enjoyed it again. I think all four of those women have been absolutely superb for at least 4 or 5 of the last 6 months. I think they've been absolutely brilliant. Roxanne Perez is sensational, absolutely sensational. She's definitely going to be women's world champion. She's such a good heel, so annoying, smarmy, but she can back it up. Her wrestling's fantastic. The some of the holds that she does, match quality, cadence, the way that she inflicts pain and uses body parts, which is very rare in WWE in this day and age to focus on. Her selling's fantastic. I think the young woman is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think she's only like what, 22, 23? She is going to be a monster in about 2 or 3 years' time. And also a little bit later there was Roxanne. Who was it? Roxanne and Raquel came out to interrupt Steph Fakir's what do you call it? Her like promo, which for some reason they did at the side of the ring. Now, again, I know I'm an old man shouting at the clouds. I don't like this thing of like people being interviewed not in rings. It's all and good having a backstage promo. That's fine if it's backstage, but when you've got the ring here and they go, oh, I know, 2 feet down, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet down the road, we'll just have it here on the apron. I'm just like, well, why? Just interview her in the ring. Honestly, I know it's only my thing, but it drives me up the wall. I just think it's pass. I don't know. Maybe it's just an old man thing, but I just think it's bloody stupid, basically. So whether there's going to be a Roxanne Perez versus Steph Fakir, or whether they're going to tease some sort of infighting between Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez as to who gets the #1 contenders, or maybe Steph's going to face them both 1 week after another. Maybe it involves Liv Morgan, because I don't know how long I don't know how long Liv is meant to be out for, but I mean, she must be. I mean, she was injured, what, 3 months ago, I think? So I'm not sure what the prognosis is, but they said it was a bad injury, but not a horrendously bad one, so she must be. You would imagine that, I can't imagine she's going to be on the Royal Rumble. You would have thought they will want Liv Morgan for the Royal Rumble before that anyway, so maybe it was got something to do with her. I don't know. Dominic Mysterio then managed to talk Adam Pearce via AJ Styles into getting JD McDonough and Finn Balor a tag team match against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles next week on Raw. So we've got that. We've got Maxine Dupree again against Becky Lynch for the IC title. Also, as well, obviously, I know Seth and Bex in real life have their beautiful daughter and everything, but I didn't like the whole thing of them not being in the vision, but I can kind of understand it now given what's happened. And then, yeah, we've got Dominic Mysterio against Rusev next week, because basically when Dom won, Rusev became the #1 contender for whoever had the title shot, basically. But yeah, I hope to God Rusev just beats Dominic Mysterio. I'm sorry, but I know people like him, and when I start looking at the comments, I'm sure there'll be lots of people telling him to shut up and stuff, but I don't get it with Dominic Mysterio as well. He's a fantastic heel, don't get me wrong, he's such a good worker, he's really good, but so you could like him for being a heel. Like, I totally get that. I used to love this guy when he was a heel. I loved Austin when he was a heel before he turned into Stone Cold. You know, Kevin Owens is one of my favourite wrestlers, and I prefer KO as a heel. Same thing with Orton. I don't get why people. I get why people like Dom as a worker, because he's absolutely top draw. I don't get why they like him because he's a heel, if that makes any sense. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. Yeah, and then basically, yeah, I was going to say, there wasn't a lot on Raw from the start until the end. I mean, look, the pay-per-view, I'll just say Crown Jewel was absolutely fantastic, because obviously I didn't cover it, but obviously you guys would have seen it. So the Cena AJ Styles match was golden. It's in probably just shy of my top 5 matches for this year, I think. The way that AJ and Cena were just like doing wrestling moves from the past, like Hunters, HBKs, Undertakers, and the way they incorporated it into the match, I thought it was fantastic. So that was match of the night for me. I thought the Rhea Ripley, Kabuki, and Io was fantastic. Who else did we have? Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins was absolutely sensational. Not as good as AJ versus Cena for my money, but Steph Stratton was okay. I thought I can imagine they could have a better wrestling match than that, but obviously it needed to be what it was because they were the least important match. No disrespect to all those, to the women, but obviously it was never going to be the top draw match. And then obviously you had the shock of Roman losing to Bronson, so it was a fantastic card. So I didn't watch SmackDown again because I was on the road. I don't even know what happened with that. Apparently, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are now a thing, not just in real life, but in the show as well, because Zelina Vega attacked Damian Priest or something like that. I don't know, but I hope she attacked Damian Priest with a forklift truck, because how Zelina Vega, all 1'4" of her, was able to dismantle 7-foot odd Damian Priest is stretching credibility a little bit. But like I said, I didn't see it, so I can't comment. But yeah, I don't know what I was telling you about Crown Jewel for. There was a reason, I forgot what it was now. Anyway, so the main event, that was it. So yeah, because Crown Jewel was so awesome, and from what I'm given to understand, SmackDown was really good. I suppose they had to have a more genteel Monday Night Raw kind of thing. I don't know if that's the case, but whatever. And then we had a really good match just to end it with LA Knight versus Jey Uso versus Punk. Really good. Nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary, just a good solid wrestling match between 3 good workers. This guy obviously went over, CM Punk. I was questioning at the time why it was Punk, given that we've got Rawlins, but now after what happened, which I'll get onto in a minute, it kind of makes more sense. I, either way, would be thinking about giving LA Knight a title shot, because it's one of these for him, it just seems to be going on and on and on. I mean, for someone of that level now, because don't get me wrong, LA Knight is top draw. He really, really is. Whatever anyone says, he's a fantastic wrestler. He's got great look. He's so over with the crowd. I mean, he must be one of the most over people in wrestling in the world. I mean, he's going to be, what, top 10 easily now? Maybe even top 5. I mean, he's not far off their #1 merch seller. So I don't know. I mean, they are gonna at some stage. Paul, as in Levesque, is going to have to make a decision. Like, look, we need to give this guy a run, even if it's only 5 or 6 months, because I think if this goes on a lot longer with Knight, I mean, he's not old by any stretch of the imagination. He's a good 5, 6 years younger than me. But I'd imagine LA is 40, 41, something along those lines. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's now or never, but obviously, Cena's just retired at the age of what, 48, 49. Punk's been talking about it, not retiring, but obviously he knows he's not got as long in the future as he had in the past. AJ Styles at the age of what, 47, 48, is literally just said next year is his last year. Also as well, I did want to say this, just shout out to AJ Styles, whatever happens, fantastic career, what a wrestler. He proved what he was on Saturday night against Cena, and yeah, just congratulations to AJ Styles for his career. He is a top draw worker, and I will miss him a lot. I hope WWE are going to keep him on in some capacity, and I would immediately put him in backstage. And if not, I would make him as depending on what Shawn Michaels wants to do. I would even consider making AJ Styles like the leader of NXT for the coaching and stuff. Maybe him and Shawn can work together. I don't know, but like you need to keep this guy on because he is. Excuse me again, folks. Sorry, caught a cold the other day. He's such a great worker, and he's been one of the best wrestlers of all time. I mean, I watched Styles from when he was on TNA. I used to go and watch him in Manchester with one of my mates, and he was always the best that you saw that night. So yeah, just shout out to AJ, and yeah, swig of water for AJ Styles. Right then, so back to the thumbnail story. So, like some of you may have seen, so like I said, I've done my thumbnail for the YouTube video, and I titled it "CM Punk wins #1 contender match," and thought, oh, well, there'll be nothing else interesting, so I'll just save that and then I'll get ready for the live stream. So I'm getting all my notes together. I've got Raw on the TV that you can't see just over there. And all of a sudden there was like this big commotion. So I ran back in and I was like, what the hell was going on here? And then I look and then Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker have turned on CM Punk, have turned on Seth Rollins. And I was like, what? So then I had to rewind what had just happened, saw it, and then they sort of scared Paul Heyman. At least you thought they were scaring Paul Heyman into making a decision about what they were going to, if he's sticking with Seth or if he's sticking with them. And then Paul sort of sells it like he's afraid, but then he lifts both their arms up and sort of looks at Seth like, haha, I told you so. Now, I've got so many questions about this. Number one, does this mean Seth Rollins is now a babyface? Number two, if it's not a work, which I'll get onto in a minute, then why on earth did CM Punk win the #1 contenders match when presumably Seth now has to deal with the Vision? Number three, which I'm sticking with for the minute, I think it's a work, and I think the Vision will end up coming out to help Seth in his title match against CM Punk, a la them fooling Seth Rollins fooling Punk with the crutches at SummerSlam. Number five or four, I can't remember what part I'm on now, but like, if it is a work, it's a bit of a crappy one, to be honest, because I don't really see what the point is in doing that, because it's just like, well, you could just have Braun and Bronson attack Punk and then Seth retains. Also, as well, obviously they've just really hurt CM Punk and Jey Uso and LA Knight. So are all of those lads out for the foreseeable? When is this title match going to happen? Is it going to be Survivor Series? If it's not a work, then why, after all this time, have they split up the Vision when it's taken so long to like get them together as a cohesive unit? It kind of reminded me, I don't know if you guys remember, it kind of reminded me of when Edge, i.e. Adam Copeland of AEW fame, was the leader of the Judgment Day, and they kind of had, I think it was, they had Damien Priest join, then it was Rhea, then it was Balor, Then I think they had a WrestleMania, and they'd only been together for like, I don't know, 10, 12 weeks or something daft like that. And then all of a sudden, Finn Balor one day just attacks Edge, and then he kind of becomes the new ruler with priest of the Judgment Day. And I was like, well, they haven't been together that long. What is the deal? I guess what I'm getting at is like I could understand if this had been a year and a half down the line, but like the Vision have only been a thing since 2 weeks after WrestleMania, which would make it 6-ish months, 5.5 months, something along the lines. And if they are now turning Seth into a baby, I mean, how does that work? Because you've obviously got CM Punk, you've got Roman, even though he's in and out. You've got, I mean, obviously they're losing Cena, I know, so maybe it's a replacement. Are they turning the Vision into the good guys, maybe? And they've just turned on Seth, who's the bad guy. I don't know. There's, I think there's definitely potential to it, but I just hope it. Basically, I just hope it's not a shock value thing, because it just seemed to come completely out of nowhere, to be honest. So, I mean, I didn't even have that down as a thing. I mean, Denise Salcedo, who I watch, who's currently on my TV screen, who I'm going to watch after I finish doing it. By the way, shout out to Denise. She's just the loveliest woman, first class human being. Love watching the shows and her live streams that she does. So I'm going to watch her after this just to see what she makes of it. But she actually predicted it would happen, and I was like, I didn't see that coming at all, to be honest, because obviously they teased it, but I just thought to myself, well, it's just an idle threat, isn't it? And also, Seth won the match, but I guess maybe Bron's got the question because he had to help against Cody. And then if you look as well, when Rollins did that ridiculous thing where he was sat there hugging Heyman and this, that, and the other, and Bronson and Bron, he was saying that you are tomorrow, the stars of the future, and this, that, and the other. There was a bit, now I think about it, where Bron Breakker, like Bronson was like, yeah, cool. Heyman was like, yeah, cool. And then Bron Breakker was like, huh. And I did pick up on it at the time, but I just thought, well, that'll be something they tease, like, I don't know, after WrestleMania next year. Excuse me again, folks, sorry about this. But to do it now was, I mean, I don't know, it's a very, very bold move. So I'm Monday Not a Raw next week will be appointment viewing. Speaking of which, I'll just say quickly before I go to the comments, to be honest, guys, now, and I've already told the subscribers with this, because of a change of circumstances, and I'll just leave it at that, Monday Night Raw, if you look on my next live streams that are scheduled on the scheduled page, wherever you see it, it's on the channel somewhere, are all going to be now Tuesday 10:30. Reason being is kind of new job, but also kind of not a new job. It's a very, very weird, very strange situation that I have coming up. But basically, long story short, I can no longer stay up to watch Monday Night Raw at 3:30 because it would involve me watching it till 3:30, talking away till 5 in the morning, and then basically getting 1 hour sleep and then going to work, which I'm not prepared to do, no matter how many subscriptions or likes that I get. But yeah, I don't want to end up dying of a heart attack. So yeah, basically the next week's Raw will be, well, obviously it'll be at normal time in America, but my reaction to it will be on Tuesday nights from now on. So it'll be like the late night Monday Night Raw reaction show, whatever I've titled it. Same thing for SmackDown. A lot of people that have been subscribed and stuff, and friends of mine on the channel, and again, shout out to you guys, will know about my little boy, and that he gets up very, very early, really helpfully on a Saturday morning, which means I cannot watch SmackDown because, again, for the same reason, I would be getting an hour's sleep. So I do something called the late Friday night SmackDown review show or reaction show, something along those lines, I don't know. But yeah, that's usually at 11 o'clock on Yeah, 11 o'clock on Saturday night or 11:30, whenever I can get Ella to go to bed. Not Ella Garcia, obviously, my geek boy meta Ella, because that'll be weird, but anyway. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Also, as well, actually, before I get to the comments, I might as well, now I've started this, I might as well just say the next week or so's programming, if you want to call it that. I will be back live tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it's scheduled. I'll have a look after I've done this. I'm going to do a Liverpool sort of wrap up show. Not that I particularly want to talk about these guys at the minute because I'm still traumatized after the 9 days of crap, basically. But yeah, I'll sort of be doing a preview towards the wretched Manchester United game. By the way, like I said before, sorry to subscribers, but if we lose to Manchester United, I'm a very bitter man and I will not be doing a live stream. If it's a draw, I will do a live stream. That's fine. If we lose to Man United, I will be going straight to the pub at Cineworld in Beeston, which is just around the corner from my house, and I will be ordering 17 pints worth of vodka. So yeah, there we go. Wrestling wise, I'll be back on Thursday morning, 9 o'clock. So if you're an AEW fan, I cover AEW Dynamite, so I'll be back on there for 9 o'clock. What else have I got coming this week? Live reactions to the Manchester United fit. Oh, one other thing I'm doing is I'm a massive horror movie fan, as most of you guys will know that follow me. So there's an event in Leeds this weekend called Leeds Gothica. It's an alternative market kind of thing. I've covered it before. It's on the channel. It's just on Geek Boy Does Horror if you want to check it out. And basically it's got all like these cool gothy things. It's got like wrestling shirts. It's got like gear from horror movies like Terrifier and Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street and I don't know, Scream and stuff like that. And I'm really into all that sort of stuff. I really love horror in this time of year. My son's kind of got into it now. Good grief, excuse me again. Because my son, a lot of you guys may be younger, significantly younger than me, but I'm assuming people on here will know what Huggy Wuggy is. And Jesus Christ, I nearly said it in the Night Garden. Not in the Night Garden. Poppy play. God, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Can you imagine watching? You had a kid and all of a sudden, Mommy, Daddy, this horrible monster's come on. You got in the Night Garden, and then Huggy Wuggy comes bounding out. You'd be like, what the hell's going on here? You know. Yes, it is Poppy playtime, and Gartner Bam Bam, I think it's called, and FNAF he's into as well. So he's into also all that culture as well. Anyway, I'll be covering that hopefully around 11:30 in the morning. I'll have to be a bit flexible with this one because it involves me getting my excited son out of the house, getting him ready, and so on and so forth. And then also, I'm going to have to bribe him with a McDonald's. Parents out there washing, you'll know my pain basically. But yes, that'll be about somewhere between 11 and midday on Saturday if you want to check that out. It's always a good laugh and everything. And yeah, that's it for this week. I'll tell you about more stuff that I've done and other stuff that I've been getting up to in a minute. But I'm going to read all your comments because I've just realised I stopped reading the comments about 20 minutes ago. So yeah, sorry. Give me one second. Sir Patrick Starr asked, am I a football fan? Oh yeah, I answered that. Yeah, Mighty Res. Let me have a look. Oh, Patrick, yeah. That's my favourite English team, but I'm Scottish. Oh, lucky you, Patrick. I wish I was Scottish at the minute. Oh, shouldn't have said that, should I? Anyway, moving swiftly on. Who's your favourite Scottish team then, Patrick? I won't say what mine is in case it's the one that I think you might not like. Ella, what is your wife's name? Yeah, it's Ella. Ella, basically. Yeah. Can't find my shoes. Have you seen my shoes? Nope. Cena only has 4 appearances. Oh, hello, Anushka. I know. Cena versus Dom, and Cena will face Gunther in his last match. That's all rest to our promos. Do you know what, Anushka? It wouldn't surprise me. I was. I know a lot of guys will, and guys and girls who watch me would like the last match to be Brock Lesnar. I would not like it to be Brock Lesnar, if I'm being completely honest. Um, just for the fact it's been done to death already, and it's like, do we need to see Brock Lesnar beat up John Cena again? Like, not really. I mean, obviously, Cena now has to be thinking about his career after wrestling, which is obviously wrestling. He's one of the biggest actors in the world. Does he need to be getting a massive injury? No. You would imagine he's in training purely for that last match. In fact, I actually disagree with you a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's only one more, to be completely honest. If it's Gunther, they're going to have to bring Gunther back for when's John scheduled for? I think is he the Raw before Survivor Series? I can't remember now. So if it's Gunther, to be honest, I would just commit to it and just have Gunther and Cena go for a promo battle, and go from there. Maybe you can fit in the Dom Mysterio match as like a, I don't know, like a tune-up match or something daft like that. I mean, here's another thing as well. Now that Rawlins is presumably out of the Vision, could Cena face Seth Rollins for the belt? He did say he was going to take the belt with him. I mean, look, I wouldn't have thought so, but like, if you think of credible opponents, to be fair, because I mean, obviously it's not going to be Roman now, because I don't think Roman will be there at that point. It's not going to be Punk, it's not going to be Randy Orton. In terms of credibility, if you want to give someone the rub, it could be Gunther, I suppose, now as well, if Rollins has split with the Vision. Maybe, because I always wanted his last match to be Bron Breakker so he could fully put Bron over. I mean, maybe now that is a possibility. I mean, I would have loved John to have faced Joe Hendry as well. I really would have, but I just think it's far too late for that unless they are going to do the ultimate surprise. Unless, of course, they are going to go with John Cena has chosen a mystery opponent for his last match. But that is very, 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 very dangerous because if they bring out someone, not that I'm saying Jacob Fatu would be a disappointment. I think there'll be a lot of people who go, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. But I think a lot of people would also be sort of going, Fatu's not had any push for that last 3 months. Why are we doing this for? But Gunther would have been my choice, to be honest, as well. But at the same time, he's not been seen for 3 months, and just I don't know. I don't know what route they're going to do, but I mean, they're going to obviously they'll have to choose something. I suppose Gunther is probably one of the best options, but he needs to come back very, very quickly in order to make that work, in my opinion. I went out with my friend at Top today. Okay, cool. Is there any Mocklemizers on here? Ella, it's Ella. There must be some Mocklemizers on here. Hi, can I buy your socks? Well, a lot of you have been drinking this evening. Who would win out of John Cena and Kenta Kobashi? Oh, I was in Kenta. Kenta, easy. I think that's who I would like to win, but there we go. Hello, I'm him. How you doing, mate? You're all right. What's good? What are you talking about today? I don't understand milk jugs when there's barely any milk left. It still manages to fill a glass. I'm fascinated. Yeah, just talking about what was I talking about? I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah, Monday Night Raw reaction. Sorry, I thought I was talking about Liverpool then for a second. Then yeah, just what happened on Raw. I'm him tonight, especially with the Vision splitting apart. I was not expecting that, like I said. So like I've just had my mind blown by that. I'm him. Hi Jerry 522. Battlefield 6 is out, mate. I'm not a gamer, Jerry, to be honest. I did see it advertised on Raw. My son plays. To be honest, he's mostly Minecraft. It's like Minecraft Central in our house. He's been crafting because I'm an old man. And he comes up to me and says, "Dad, look at this universe that I've made," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he's made something called I can't remember what it was. Some sort of cabin that unlocks a portal. God knows what it is. He also keeps running around saying, "Bro thinks he's an edit," which I know is a young people thing, and he has tried to explain this to me, and I'm like, what? and like I don't know, because we watch wrestling together, and like if someone attacks Cody Rhodes, I've turned around and said, "Haha, bro thinks he's an edit," and made some crease, and he goes, "Dad, that isn't what it means, seriously." And I'm like, "Oh, right, okay, I don't know what." Let's have a look. Cooking Asmir, hello. Geek, I think you need to read chat more because it gets more views. I know I'm him. Yeah, no, I went to the complete tangent, mate. Sorry about that. I'm literally just going back through the comments as well. Not trying to sound nasty, but trying to help. No, that's fine. No, I went off on a tangent, mate. So, I usually do read the comments as they go along. Basically, like I said at the start, I have had the most insane sleep deprived last 4 days that you can possibly imagine. Because yeah, I've been all over. I've been to, like I said, I've been to Birmingham, I've been to Wolverhampton, I've been to West Bromwich, I've been to Shrewsbury, Telford, Sheffield. I had to make a stop in for some reason, and I just got back into Leeds at like 4 o'clock this morning, so I haven't got a clue what I'm doing at the minute. So yeah, sorry about that. If you're doing a live on Sunday, I won't be able to watch because I'm going airsoft with my mates. Oh, cool. I'm him. What's airsoft? Is this another young people thing? If it is, I don't know what it is. Sorry. Uh, you don't need to apologise, dude. That's fine. Look, like I said, I'm him. I know I'm a very bitter old man, but like I said, and I know I'd be missing out on subscriptions and views and comments and this, that, and the other, but I don't physically know. Look, I might change my mind, but I don't know if physically I could do a reaction show if we lose to Manchester United. Now, the reason is, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here again, but I don't want to say it traumatised my childhood or anything like that, but it sucked in the 90s because United, for people who may not know this, Manchester United used to be a very good football team. Sorry. And between 93 and 2006, 7, something like that. I think Man United, if I've got this right, won something in the region of 13 league titles, and there were like literally, I think Chelsea won 2 or 3, Arsenal maybe won a couple in that time. Obviously, Leicester won way after that, and Blackburn won. But other than that, it was always Manchester United, which as a Liverpool fan, it made my life a misery, an absolute misery, and it was horrendous. And I know this is really, really stupid, but like, if Liverpool lose a match, I can kind of spend the rest of the day with my family. I'm still annoyed, but yeah. But if we lose to Manchester United, that's me done for 2 days. Like you can ask my wife, I am miserable to be around, and you can ask my son and my brother and my mother, I am a misery to be around, and I don't want to inflict that on all you guys. Because you would just be watching like 3 minutes of me like throwing a laptop all over my bedroom basically. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see about that. But hopefully we don't lose. But I'm just gonna leave it as this. I have a feeling we could lose, to be honest. But I hope that's not the case. But there we go. Here we go. Here we go. First of all, Kaiser, do a Kratos impersonation. I don't know what that is, Kaiser. Is that the bold fella from God of War? Or is it the island that the X-Men now live on? That's not Kratos, is it? That's Krakoa. Yeah, I don't know. So here's the thing, bro, it's an edit. It's like if you're trying to be tough, that's when you say bro is an edit. It's like guns, but instead of bullets, it's like plastic balls going through. Oh, right, okay, cool. So it's like, is it? Oh, so yeah. I know, yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that I'm him. Like I said, I'm an old man and I don't know of such things. I mean, I can tell you all about Spider-Man and the X-Men, the Avengers, and wrestling and Liverpool from 91 till now, but other than that, I know nothing of anything basically. Cool, right, okay. So someone trying to be tough, right? Okay. So put in a sentence. Bronson Reed, bro, thinks he's an edit. I don't know. That's airsoft. Or you could look it up, but it's so fun. Cool. Yeah, it's the bold guy. Nice one. We also have Azan Hussein Najaf. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I'm okay, brother. How are you? Kaiser, Man City winning 5 EPL seasons in a row, or Man United one, which is more painful? Man United winning one. I've got to be honest, Kaiser. Look, I know a lot of people. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm guessing most of you are going to be in around the same sort of age. I would, and I know the Man City versus Liverpool thing is meant to be the rivalry, but the rival will always be Liverpool and Man United to me. And I honestly would rather, to answer Kaiser's question, I would rather sit and watch Manchester City win 5 league titles than to ever see Manchester United win another one in my lifetime. If someone offered me that and said, right, Liverpool can win 2 league titles in 30 years before you die, for example, but there will be there will be 3 5 year stretches where Man City win 5, so basically they win 15, and Everton win another one. I would rather have that than see Man United ever win another league title. That is how much I despise them, basically. Yes, not that I have any childhood traumas with it or anything, clearly. The bald guy Kratos. Oh, good, excellent. I do know my pop culture a little bit. In it, Man United is doing. Yeah, yes, they are. They are. I'm him. They are. Like I said, I will definitely be on if it's a draw because I can just about live with a draw. But if we lose, no, not a chance. But I might change my mind because I know I am being very, very immature for it. A man with his own house, a wife, and a 12-year-old son. I really should be better than that. But yeah, I will try, but I think it is very, very doubtful, to be completely honest. But there we go. Is your hate for Man United bigger than your love for Liverpool? Nope, I love Liverpool more than anything else in the world. Oh, apart from my wife and child who are sleeping up there in a minute. Yes, and my brother, and my mom, and some of my friends. Maybe not all of them. I don't know. Yeah, no, definitely do. I love Liverpool literally more than these guys have been with me since 1989, basically. I know because I say this to my missus and she looks at me like I've just fallen out of a dog's backside, basically. But I can't imagine not having Liverpool in my life now. It would be, yeah, it would be horrendous. Um, no, I can't imagine not having football in my life, but not to have Liverpool would just be. If that got taken away from me, I would. It would be horrendous. It would break my heart completely. So yeah, definitely Liverpool, man. Football or wrestling? Football. But again, to be honest, I'm him. Wrestling. Funnily enough, I've watched wrestling for longer than I have football. First wrestling match I saw would have been, what was it now? 87. I think it might have been Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if that was, if anyone knows, I don't know if that was 87. I might have the wrong year. It was either 87 or 88. Maybe it was 86. I can't remember what it is now, but I think that's the first memory that I've got of watching a wrestling match. I was about 6 or 7 anyway, but yeah, I've been watching WWF as it then was on and off since 88, I think, 89, something along them lines. And I only got into Liverpool just after the 1990 World Cup, which was the Italian 91 when you had Roger Miller and when England went out on penalties and you had Cameroon and they nearly got to the semi-finals and all that good stuff. So that's when I got into it. And like I said, I've told this story before, but I asked me old fella, God rest his soul, who does John Barnes pay for, Dad? And he said, oh, well, it's Liverpool. And I said, fine, I'll support them. Then my dad was like, oh, yeah, right, whatever. Because I'd not shown any interest in football whatsoever. 35 years later, and I'm still watching Liverpool to this day. So, yeah. Let's have a look. No need to worry. Man United ain't beating Swansea, let alone Liverpool. Kaiser, to be honest, but one thing I never do with that match, I never, ever try and predict it, ever, under any circumstances. Because, I mean, case in point, the year after the 7-0, which, by the way, was one of the best days of my entire life, it's like, I remember Man United fans saying, oh, is that better than the trophy for you? And I just put on everything, yes. I would not... Put it this way, if someone said that season, would you rather win the FA Cup or keep the 7-0 match against Man United? I'm sorry, I know pretty much every Liverpool fan in the world would disagree with me. I would keep the 7-0. Literally, that was one of it would go in the top 20 to 30 days of my entire life of being on this planet, to be honest. I don't think I've ever been so happy in my life. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm not predicting Kaiser. To be quite honest, I just want Liverpool to get back on track now. If that means just taking a good solid point at home, playing okay and getting a 1-1. Obviously, Wood will be a little bit disappointed, but a point against Manchester United. Look, whatever we think about Manchester United and how rubbish they are, the thing you've got to remember is they've just been horrendously mismanaged. Manchester United, as much as it pains me to say it, are not rubbish. I mean, if you look at some of their players, I mean, they shouldn't be in the position they are now. Where they lack for me is in midfield. If Man United had, I'm just trying to think of an example. Even someone as basic as a Douglas Luiz or Morgan Gibbs White or something on their minds, and they had two decent quality midfielders who aren't the best in the world but a very good Premier League international standard, that team would be fine. Their midfield is terrible. If Liverpool get outfought in the midfield, I will be asking some questions because with the four midfielders that we have who are absolute top draw world class, plus you've got Curtis Jones, plus you've got an Endo. Liverpool should not be losing in midfield to Manchester United at all. But we'll have to wait and see. As a veteran, what do you think about Seth Rollins? Where do you rank him? I think currently, Kaiser, I'd say. I think currently worldwide, you'd have to put him in your top 10. I think you'd have to. I mean, he is a world class top draw wrestler operating at the height of his game. My thing with Seth Rollins is there's always been something with it, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't dislike his character. I think he's a very good heel. His mic work is outstanding. He's absolutely brilliant. He's one of the best pure wrestlers in the world. He's got great look. There's just something, and I've never been able to put my finger on it. I don't know why. There's something that he's slightly missing. There was something massive that he was missing up until about 7 or 8 months ago. Which was he was trying to be a half babyface, half heel, and it just wasn't working. Now he's into his heel stage and he's into his groove. I think it's been a lot better. I mean, this thing with the vision, like I said, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I mean, whether he's now going to be run as a babyface, which just seems very odd to me, or whether it's I immediately have just think it's a work. Personally, I could be completely wrong on that, but we'll have to wait and see. I just think Rawlins is. When you look at, I'll expand it to AEW as well. When you look at Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, who are probably the best four, added with Raw, MJF as well. You add that, and then you add Rollins. So say you've got those six, give or take roughly the best 6 male wrestlers in the world, or the most popular, whatever. I think all 5 of them have got something that Seth doesn't, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Even the AEW guys, I mean, I have no doubt MJF will end up at WWE one day. It will happen in the next 18 months to 2 years. MJF will be at WrestleMania by the time. I wouldn't be surprised if MJF's there by the time they go to Saudi Arabia. I really, because I know there's a lot of free agency stuff happening next year and the year after that. I know Seth's been in WWE for years. I don't think there's a world where that Seth could actually live with MJF to be. And this isn't an AEW versus WWE thing, by the way, because I like them both equally. I'm not into this whole tribalism nonsense. It's like, guys, it's wrestling. Get a life. But I just think all those wrestlers I mentioned have got something that Seth hasn't got. But what that is, I don't know. But in general, I think he's one of the best top 10 wrestlers in the world at the minute. If you're asking me overall of all time, I don't mean this relatively, it's not a critique, I don't think he's anywhere near close, because obviously back in the day I was watching people like Bret Hart Kurt Hennig, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, obviously from the Four Horsemen sort of era, Ricky Steamboat when he was in WWE, Ted DiBiase, people like that, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, all them sorts of people. And there are people from that era who will never leave my top five, basically. So you, from back in the day, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, and Ric Flair would have to be in my personal top five at bare minimum. I'd probably throw this guy in as well, but I am a bit biased with CM Punk. I don't think Seth Rollins gets anywhere near for it. He might make my top 25, and again, that's not a it's not a critique of him at all because it's all subjective. But I mean, let me put it this way: if I did a top 25, would Bryan Danielson be above Seth Rollins? Yes, he would. That's just my opinion, but yes, that was a very roundabout way of saying no, by the way. Seth Rollins is equally as annoying as Punk. Whoa, what's all this anti-CM Punk stuff tonight? Thank you, Jesse, for that. No, I know that Punk gets on people's nerves. Look, just in general, Jesse, to be honest, I can be a bit of. I was going to say I could be a bit of a heel. I suppose that's right, actually. Yeah, I can be a bit heel sometimes. I just like the fact that Punk's unabashedly complicated, contradictory, says the wrong thing, says the right thing. He makes mistakes, he does good things, he doesn't try to hide it, he doesn't hide his past, which makes him very human to me. It makes him very relatable because I think a lot of us are like Punk in real life, where we will have, I don't know, political beliefs or whatever that contradicts other things that we also believe in, and then he will just say, look, I can believe in these two things and they're not mutually exclusive. So that's the reason that I like Punk. Also, I like the fact he's just a fantastic wrestler and a great promo. But if people don't like it, that's fair enough. That's fine. We all miss the Ten Hag era. Yes, lads. 6-3, 7-0 and so many more. Absolutely. That's, like I said, that 7-0 Kaiser was, I mean, yeah, I did. Like I said, that's how much I loved it, and I can't even put it into words. I think I nearly cried at the end of the night, actually. No, I didn't go that far, but yeah, no, it was great. Where do you rank Pedri amongst the top midfielders in the world, and who's your GOAT? Where do I rank? Oh, Pedri. Yeah, because he was in that. He was in the Barca, wasn't he? The really famous midfield. I think because I love that Barcelona team so much, he'd probably one of the best of all time. But in terms of my favourites, I'd still go with teammates like Xavi, basically Xavi and Iniesta. They are probably, and I hate saying this as a Liverpool fan, because obviously we've had Steven Gerrard, possibly the two best midfielders that I've ever seen play professional football. That Barcelona team was sensational. So another quick story that has nothing to do with wrestling. By the way, if you're listening on YouTube, sounds I apologise, but you're not. I'm like I end up talking about other stuff. But me and the boys, if any of you from Leeds will know Headingley, you'll know a bar called the Original Oak. Me and the lads basically would be in there. How do I put this politely? We'd be in there a reasonably high frequency of a weekend, shall we say? Yes, and a lot of the times they'd show Barcelona on the Sunday night. So if any of me and the lads had Monday off, we'd watch the Premier League. So you'd have like the 2 o'clock game, the 4 o'clock game, and so on and so forth. But they used to have in the Oak Spanish football that started at 7. So if we had the day off, it was just like, this is brilliant. We'll get into the bar at midday, and then we're still sat there, like after the Spanish football's finished at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, as you do. But half the time it was Barcelona, and I was just mesmerised by that team. It's the best football that I've ever seen being played by any football team in 35 years of watching. I didn't get the pleasure of watching the Brazil team of the 70s, obviously. As much as I hate saying this as a Liverpool fan, obviously you have to acknowledge that Manchester United in the mid-90s to the late 90s were very, very good, exceptional. Arsenal Invincibles were obviously a fantastic team. AC Milan of the 90s were absolutely fantastic. But Barcelona, for me, are are the benchmark. They were just sensational. So yeah, I'd probably go with Xavi and Iniesta, to be honest. I think the GOAT is Ronaldo in footy. Oh, and not Messi. Oh, I don't know about that. No, yeah, no, fair play. It's very close, isn't it? For me, I just preferred Lionel Messi for the reasons I just gave. I mean, one of the matches I saw Messi in the original Oak Beer Garden with the lads, it was, what was it now? I want to say it was Barcelona 5, Arsenal 1. So this would have been about 15 years ago, something like that. And I didn't speak to any of the lads for about an hour. I was literally just like that watching Messi. I think he scored a hat trick in the first half, and it was when they used to have the Spanish goalkeeper. I forget what his name was. They had him about 2008, 2009. I forget what his name is, but basically, Leo Messi basically breaks from the halfway line and chips the Arsenal goalkeeper. Now I've never seen anything like it. It was like he was playing in his back garden. This chip. It's not the best goal I've ever seen. It's just the fact that it just looked easy to him, and I was just like, that is sensational. So, yeah, I'd go for Messi personally for me, pal. But obviously, you've got, as much as I hate Ronaldo, you have to acknowledge that he's one. He's got to be top 5 best footballers of all time. It's as simple as that. I mean, you can't, even as a Liverpool fan, I can't deny that. I did see Diego Maradona play a fair bit when I was younger. I would, with respect, I would just say Maradona was slightly better than Ronaldo for me personally, but who had the better career? And obviously it's Ronaldo. So yeah, it's probably between those 3 for me. I never saw Pele, unfortunately. The old fella saw him play. But I never had the joy of seeing Pele, so I can't obviously put him in there because I've not seen him, kind of thing. If that's makes any sense. So yeah, it'd be one of those 3 anyway, but I'd probably just go for Messi for me. In the world of delusion, yes, the camel is the goal. Oh, I'm not getting involved in that, lads. That's up to you two to sort of. After the stream, you should look up what Airsoft is, bro. It's so fun. I will do. I'm him. Well, I'm going to be ending the stream shortly anyway, because no offense, I want to go to bed for the first time since Wednesday night last week, basically. Kaiser, to be honest, I really wanted to see Adam Cole, but oh, bro, seriously, I was gutted about Adam Cole, Kaiser. Absolutely gutted. I watched. I don't know if you saw All In Texas, but I saw that pay-per-view. What was it? 2 months ago. It was before I went to see Forbidden Door. Anyway, it was about a month before. And honestly, I was nearly in tears because that looks and sounds very serious. I mean, when a wrestler doesn't disclose what it is, like Ash by Elegance retired from TNA the other day and kind of gave a reason, but didn't give a reason. I mean, obviously that's looks nothing to do with me. It's their personal health, and I wouldn't be so disrespectful as to ask them what's wrong. I mean, I just hope Ash by Elegance, that's Dana Brooke, if anyone doesn't know, from WWE back in the day. I just hope that Dana Brooke and Adam Cole get fit and healthy as possible. Even if they can't wrestle again, I really hope that they can come back and just live healthy lives. But yeah, no, the Adam Cole thing, dude, I'm a bloke that cries. If you want to take Nick, mate, that's fine. I cried when Liverpool won the title. I also cried when Jurgen Klopp left the football club in front of approximately 50 people in the downstairs of the original Oak, and unabashedly sat there and wept as if I was a 6-year-old child. So I cried. It's like paintball, but the weapons look really real and it hurts shooting. Yeah, it kind of sounds like something we used to do back in the day. I tell you what, I'm him. I used to like doing. I don't know if this is still a thing now because I haven't done it for about 30 years because I'm an old man. I used to really like doing Laser Quest. I don't know if there's a thing that exists like that anymore. When you've got the backpack and you've got these laser guns and you shoot them and you've got to hit the centre and then you're out of the game or whatever it was. I used to quite like that basically. Far less painful than paintball, to be fair, because I've done that. And the thing is with paintballing back in the day, I did it, but then I saw someone rolling around in agony, and like someone went up to this bloke and said, "What's wrong? You're all right. You're all right." And then he said, "How do I put this on a live stream? I've hurt my. It's gone right into my." Yes. So, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this again because they had to take this. I shouldn't laugh. They had to take this fella to the hospital as well in Derby. I know it's not something to laugh at as well, but it's like, imagine at Derby Royal Infirmary, you get the doctor's like nature of injury, and then the bloke points, and then he's like, oh, for the love of God. But after that, I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Thank you, just in case. Hello, I'm back. Remember me? I do. Patrick, how you doing, mate? Yes, that's good, Patrick. Guess how old I am. I'm him. Judging by spelling. No, I'm missing. 7. Cool. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm him. That's all good. Do me a favour, though. Who me? Don't shine your age online when you're that big. Okay. So, joking, I'm 29. Lol. Okay. Bro, you scared me. Ha ha ha. Bloody hell. I think. Do you guys want to form your own podcast? Uh, Pedri is like a mix of Xabi and Iniesta. Creativity, work rates of Xabi, and the control and the maestro of Iniesta. Frankie and Pedri is just a joy to watch. Ah, Kaiser, I've just realised you said Pedri, didn't you? I was just talking about Pedro. Oh my god, this is why I need to go to sleep. No, I understand what you mean now. Yeah, no, it was in Pedri and Gavi. Sorry, I thought you were on about Pedro that used to play with Iniesta and Xavi. That's kind of like I was like, well, I'm not saying those two are better. Pedro's better than those two, but no, I understand what you mean now, mate. Sorry about that. Like I said, I've had literally about 6 hours sleep in 4 days, so if I'm coming out with utter and complete nonsense, ignore me. In that case, then I think Pedri's got a very good chance of being one of the best midfielders on the planet. I do like Gavi as well. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I really like watching Frankie de Jong play, actually, whenever I get to see Barca as well. I like that. I hate Real Madrid, but I like that young midfield lad that they've got. He's only turned up about a year. He might be in this summer, actually. What's his name? I forget who it is, but they've got this young person. So too young to tell all your faults in parts. In Scotland, yeah. It hurt like a picture like a shot looking too. So, hi from Israel. Hi, IOLLI30I. I'll just call you hi 30. How you doing? Let my parents chill. Do you play sub on others? Rumours are speculating that Rawlins was injured. That's why WWE pulled the trigger this. Oh no, I hadn't thought of that. Well, they did keep saying about his what was I trying to say? They did keep saying about his shoulder, didn't they? But then again, this is why I'm not sure, Kaiser, to be honest, because obviously they've already done this work thing where they had Roland say that he was injured with LA Knight, but this is kind of like I would be like if it is a work and they are just like, haha, we've worked you all again. This is why I'm kind of like, well, why would you do it a second time? That's just really weird. But I suppose he could be legit injured. I'll have to look into it actually. Like I said, I've been going around about 5, 6 different cities, so I've obviously been keeping up with stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I've kind of missed as well, so maybe there'll be some more news about that. To be honest, the only thing I've really been looking at when I've had a minute to breathe is New York Comic Con, and I've got like about 50 million panels to watch from that yet as well, so yeah. I'm not brainwashed though. My yeah, that's very popular, I can see. I need to charge my phone, see you. Yeah, no problem, Patrick. See you so soon. Why didn't you sleep much? Oh, well, basically, I've got to the end of the comments now, phone. Basically, like I said at the start, I've been to since Friday morning. This is 6:30 in the morning, Friday. I've left Leeds to go to Birmingham. Been to a manga shop, Forbidden Planet, another anime shop, another geek shop in Birmingham, done a load of film in there, left Birmingham, went to Wolverhampton, went to the Jot and Mural, went to Molyneux, which is obviously Wolverhampton Wanderers, to do a live stream, did the live stream, got in a taxi, went back to Wolverhampton, went to Telford, had a night out with my family, left Telford, which is in the West Midlands, if you don't know, went to Telford, Went for a night out in Shrewsbury. Got very drunk in Shrewsbury. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I mean, I had lots of water in Shrewsbury. Left Shrewsbury. Went back to this rented apartment that we had. Had 4 hours sleep. Said goodbye to my family. Went back on the train. Went from Telford to Wolverhampton, from Wolverhampton to West Bromwich, to go to West Bromwich Albion to do a live stream from the Hawthorns, which is their ground, obviously. Left the Hawthorns, went back to Birmingham, went to this goth bar before I got onto a National Express, then watched Ghana, my team, qualify for the World Cup finals. Then decided when I got back to Leeds, as opposed to like being really sensible and going back and getting a good night's sleep, to go and celebrate the fact that Ghana had gone to the World Cup on my own in Wetherspoons, had a thoroughly good night, and then got a taxi back at about 1:30 in the morning. Tried to watch Crown Jewel, fell asleep halfway through it, got myself to bed at, I think it was around 5:30 this morning. Something along those lines, anyway. That's why I've had no sleep, basically. So yeah, he dislocated his right shoulder at Crown Jewel. Oh, that night, the fan took a photo of Seth. He basically had worn a shoulder support for. Seth is now all alone. CM Punk's going to be new Chanks. Yes, lad. Yes, Gibby. Go on. So you're from England, that's why I find it's hard to understand your accent. Oh, right. Oh, no, sorry. So I'm from the West Midlands in England, and I don't know if you know Jack Grealish, but my voice tends to turn into a bit of Jack Grealish sometimes, like this. I've got like Leeds accent, I've got like down south accent, I've got a Midlands accent, all just thrown together basically. So yeah, sometimes I'm sorry, I'm not very understandable. Sometimes I can be very posh though, darling, like this. So yeah, I don't know. I've just got a really weird voice too. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I'm from Asia though. So English isn't my main language. I didn't also have enough sleep for 2 days. Good lad. Gibby, I'm a CM Punk fan. Very good lad. Well done. Well done. Yeah, Gibby, to be honest, mate, I just, before Punk retires, I need to see him win that title. I'm just hoping it's at WrestleMania next year, because that would be awesome. I'm hoping to go out with the guy, because we didn't do it this year, because me and a few of the guys were going to go to a bar in Leeds and watch one of the nights of Mania. So I'm hoping I can do that next year. In fact, I did have the lunatic idea of doing a live stream from a pub. But again, shout out to Mrs. Meta, who was sleeping upstairs. She provided me with many different reasons as to why that was an appallingly bad idea. So I've reneged on that one, to be honest. But I will probably do a watch along for a pay per view at some point. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. I know Grealish, I'm a huge football fan. Good lad. Yeah, showing about the team he plays for now. Ironically, I'm a Seth Rollins fan. No, that's fine. That's fine, guys. Like I said to you earlier, honestly, and it's not me trying to backtrack, I think Seth Rollins is one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. But just for me, in my opinion, he definitely goes into the top 10. I'd say he's probably top 5, if I'm being completely honest. He wouldn't personally get into my top 5 wrestlers of all time, because like I said, the top 3 for me will always be Ric Flair, Stone Cold, and Shawn Michaels. I don't think that's ever going to change now. And then you've got people. Punk, obviously, I love from a personal point of view. Bret Hart, obviously, I used to love Kurt Angle as well. I love AJ Styles, and Bryan Danielson might have to be in it now just because of the career that he's had. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I've been watching since the 80s. I mean, I used to love Kurt Hennig as well. I mean, he'd probably make my top 10, so it's not really a thing with Rollins. It would be very difficult for anyone to like redo my top 10 now, kind of thing, because obviously I watch so many wrestlers. So. Yes, I think Seth will relinquish his title soon because of his injury. Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe they'll do a thing. Maybe they'll do a thing next week where Rollins, maybe Braun and Bronson, they can maybe like, because obviously they all the wrestlers know how to protect themselves. Maybe they do a thing where they storyline put Seth out to the point where he can't come back for 6 months, for example. I don't know. And then maybe they do a tournament, I guess. But it'd be so ironic if Rollins was to miss, I don't know, WrestleMania, because Punk was the one that missed the WrestleMania match with Rollins when he first got back. And you'd then have the situation, well, I think Punk will win the title. Punk has to win the title at WrestleMania, right? It's got to be, surely, for his big moment that he's always had. But if it was a tournament, I mean, I don't even know what I'd go for now, to be honest, because obviously Roman's part-time. If that, Lesnar is very part-time. I suppose Jey Uso, you'd probably be looking at a tournament that would have to involve Jey Uso, LA Knight. You'd imagine both Usos would face each other in a tournament for a bit of intrigue, so you'd imagine Jimmy Uso as well. CM Punk, obviously. Definitely Bron Breakker and definitely Bronson Reed would also be in said tournament, and then maybe Roman would throw out. I'm just like fantasy book here, but maybe Roman would stop Bronson Reed from getting any further. You throw Sami Zayn into it, but obviously Gunther could go into it as well. So yeah, maybe you have an 8-man tournament to crown a new champion, or you have a tournament and then obviously the finalists, I don't know, compete at Survivor Series, for example, or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's certainly very interesting anyway. Are you responsible for Triple H use WWE to Boston Fury? He was the first break before Breaker. Vince pushed him to the moon. Prince hasted for it. Now suddenly people want him lot. Yeah, I think he's still injured, isn't he? Austin Theory. Yeah, I know, because I remember he was red hot when he first came onto the roster, because obviously he has a break at NXT, and then this thing with him and Vince came out from nowhere, and then, yeah, obviously they had a match against, they had the interaction with Stone Cold, and it's like, well, even if you're stunned, if you interact with Stone Cold Steve Austin, you are a made man. And I thought Austin Theory is, 23, and he's already beaten John Cena. I was like, well, I mean, this guy is going to go to the limit in 4 years later. I mean, he's nowhere to be seen. So maybe they could reheat him, but I think it'd be very difficult for him now, to be honest. Hello, Isaac. I have a son called Isaac. Seth Rollins or something like that next week. Monday Night Raw, Netflix, October the 20th. What B City called next Monday? Yeah, maybe. I don't know where it is doing from next week. I think they said, was it San Francisco or something? I'm not too sure. I'll have to look at Raw again. Punk qualified for the title match at Saturday Night main event. I think it'll end up being Punk versus. But now that would be interesting. I would love to see Bron Breakker versus Punk. And as much as it would hurt me as a Punk fan, I mean, the one thing I say about Bron Breakker, it's inevitable. He is so over with everyone now. But I mean, I think it reminds me a lot of Stone Cold, where it got to the point where they kept making his booking decisions in the 90s, and it was like, look, the fans want Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it ended up being Stone Cold, just through sheer force of nature. So I think it will happen. It will definitely happen with Bron Breakker. He is, when they're saying he's the man, he is going to be the man. Like, he could work babyface, he could work heel, he could work edgy babyface, whatever you need him to be. So talented, so athletic. Yeah, no, just a fantastic performer, and yeah, he will definitely be a champion at some point, no doubt about that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the next 6 months. Also, WWE reheat Jacob Fatu, because I want Jacob Fatu versus Bron Breakker. I really do, because the time that those two had a stare down was just, it was just like, wow, that is awesome. If Bron versus Punk happens, I think he'll beat Punk. I think so, Doug. I think so. Especially, you've got to think, I'm not saying Punk's going to retire. I think Punk will be fine for at least another, I think he'll be fine until 5-6 years, and I think when he gets to 50, I think he'll call it a day. But I think he's fine for at least 3, 4, 5 years. But I mean, Bron is, I don't know how old he is, but I'd imagine he's in his early 30s, late 20s. I mean, he is going to be a star for the next 10 years. So yeah, I would have thought that's what's going to happen. Right, folks, I'm going to start wrapping up shortly. Just wanted to say quickly while I was on the live stream, and because it's my live stream, I will just say it. Shout out to Ghana, my team, for qualifying for the World Cup. Massive achievement. I'm so pleased to that we've got to the World Cup. It is my country. Don't get to see as much as I'd like to. But yeah, I was there with my father in spirit last night. I had a little glass of wine with him. Well, I drank his glass of wine, basically. Yeah, sure, cheers, Dom. But yeah, no, just shout out to Ghana and Coach Ado and Mohamed Kudus for scoring the winner that sent us to Canada, Mexico, and the States. So yeah, very proud of Ghana, and I look forward to them beating England 5-0. Oh, I've done it there. Yeah, no, that will not be happening. Trust me. But I reckon Ghana have got a chance. I reckon we've got a chance of getting out of the second. If they can qualify out of the group stages, that's more than enough for me. But I think they've got a chance because of the players we've got: Semenyo, Kudus, uh, Fatawu, whose name I can never pronounce correctly, Jordan Ayew, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just shout out to the boys and shout out to all Ghanaians out there. And thank you to all the Ghanaians for the love and wishes last night. That was a really emotional video that I did. I just wanted to explain why Ghana means so much to me because like I said, I lost my old fella many years ago, and he was Ghanaian. I never got to see Ghana with him back in the day, and that meant a hell of a lot to me last night. So yeah, well done, Ghana, and thanks everyone for the shout out. Just wanted to say really quickly as well. Obviously, I've told you guys what I'm up to for the next few days, I believe I did. Yeah, no, I'm fairly sure I did. Just to say very quickly that obviously all the filming that I did this week. So what's up at the minute? The Wolverhampton Wanderers live stream is now available as a video. The Birmingham City Geek Shopping Tour random video that I did is now up if you want to see it. The West Bromwich Albion Stadium Tour is now up as well if you want to see it. That's all under Geek Boy Matters Does Football. There is a semi-hilarious video of me where I may have had a couple of glasses of water on Saturday night of me singing Move Your Body, which was a 1993 dance anthem, which I only realised the next morning that I'd actually uploaded as a video. So yes, if you want a good laugh at some point, and if you want to chuckle, then obviously go and see that if you want to. And there's a load of stuff that I put up as well. There's what else did I do? There's a few graffiti shorts in and around the Birmingham area. Honestly, if you've never been to Brum, go to it because like the graffiti artwork there is sick. It's absolutely insane. It's like comic book level art. It's absolutely totally awesome. And yeah. Basically, if you just check out my channel, there's like a boatload of content that I've done in the last 5 or 6 days. And if anyone wants to like and subscribe, like I always say, you're more than welcome to do so. No pressure. You don't have to subscribe at all. It's just nice to talk all of you and talk to like-minded people. And honestly, it's a pleasure to chat with you guys. Apart from that weirdo the other day who was spelling out the N-word, who I then put all over social media and lost his account. Yeah. Don't fight with me, kids. I can always turn heel if necessary. But yeah, no, just seriously, thank you guys for all the support over the last few days. And yeah, I will. In fact, let me just read the last few comments and then I will do a proper goodbye. Don't you find it ironic that people like Ciampa, Gargano, Keith Lee and more, who were so over NXT, did nothing spectacular? Oh, dude, the Keith Lee thing was, what a waste from both AEW and WWE. An absolute waste of it. Keith Lee's actually still under contract, I found out the other day, and is still being paid by AEW. I'm like, well, bloody well use him. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And it's like, oh, people's like, oh, he's fat and this, that, and the other. It's like, it doesn't matter if he's fat. It doesn't mean that you're not a really good wrestler. Like, I'm not saying Kevin Owens is fat, but Kevin Owens is clearly not Randy Orton, shall we say. And Kevin Owens, for my money, pound for pound, is one of the best top 10 wrestlers in the world when he's fit. Simple as that. So all that is just nonsense. And why they are not using Keith Lee, I don't know. That's very much an AEW. I mean, why we're doing this thing with DND as well, the same thing that we did with Ricky Starks as well. It's just very childish sometimes. I like Tony Khan, don't get me wrong, and obviously fair play to him, but yeah, there was a point and reason I said all that. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to sleep tomorrow. Put me to sleep. Oh, I'm very glad I put you to sleep. Cheers, Isaac, for that. That's just the confidence boost I needed. No, dude, that's fine, not a problem. I'm headed off now anyway. Kaiser, this will be the last one. When will you stream the next time? You should probably got to war games. Believe me, it'll be one of the best decisions you'll make in your life. Kaiser, you see, it's one of these, mate. I can't go on to another hobby because I'm obviously, well, put it this way, if you look at all my playlists, pretty much all of those things are my hobbies. And on my playlists alone, there are about 8, 9 things that I am like obsessed with on there. I don't think I can be adding video games because I just don't think I'd see my wife and my son, to be quite honest. But yeah, no, video games I have flirted with sometimes, and also I love anime, for example, as well. But if I get head deep into anime, then my family will never see me again, basically. But just to answer your question, Kaiser, let me check, but I think I'll be back on at 2 o'clock tomorrow, so it'll be the Liverpool wrap up. So it'll be like an international break wrap up and a preview of the Man United game. So yeah, I'll be on about 2 o'clock, mate, tomorrow. If you can make it, fine. If you can't, don't worry about it. It'll end up being a video anyway, so just stick with the channel and it'll all come on. Right, folks. Anyway, I'm going to make a move. So yes, thanks everyone for watching. It's been absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for talking to me for an hour and a half. It's been a pleasure speaking to all of you. Kaiser, top bloke, mate. Cheers. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Just last one. So you also do football watching on? I haven't, Kaiser, yet, but I'm thinking of doing one for Inter Milan versus Liverpool on December the 9th, because I may have negotiated a way of getting my missus and my son to I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting this, but I can't, go away for the evening, basically. So I might be doing one. I think it's on December the 9th, but if there's one in the afternoon, like an FA Cup match, I might be able to do that. It's like, the trouble is, like, we've only got the one living room, so I've got family members wandering in and out every 2 minutes, so it's not something I can readily do. That's why I have to do the live reactions when everyone's gone to sleep. I'd like to do one, but yeah, I haven't had a chance yet. But like I said, I might be doing the Inter Milan Champions League game, which is on December the 9th, I think. So yeah, leave that one with us. But yeah, hopefully at some point I'll be able to start doing that anyway. But yeah, like I said, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow about 2 o'clock to discuss the Champions of England. Right, guys, see you later. Take care. Lovely to speak to you all. Goodbye and have a good night.